Bear with me. Yes. Hey guys.
Hello, hello.
AJ Gentile, Andrew James Photography. Here we are for another episode numéro 97 live stream pour photography with AJ avec AJ Facebook group photo review. We have with us tonight, on a avec nous ce soir Marc Allary, Denis Fournier, que ça fait un bout de temps qu'on ne s'est pas vu,
Ouais,
Monsieur Fournier, right?
right.
And we've also missed our belladonna, Milena. We haven't seen you in a while too. I'm going to give you each a little. Hang on, what's going on here? I got stuff popping up again on my screen. I had some technical difficulties thanks to Mark. He kept the channel open on Zoom while I had to reboot my computer, and damn thing's still rebooting. Lucky me. Hold on. Are we anywhere there yet? Just a sec.
Are we there, Dad? Are we there yet?
Exactly.
Are we there yet? Yeah.
Puis justement, I can't run Zoom and Lightroom at the same time because they both fight for the processor. So, here we are tonight for another episode. It was supposed to be last night, but ended up I forgot that it was exactly the on est en Black Friday cette fin de semaine.
Oh.
Et puis
Mhm.
c'est une fin de semaine. For those of you who don't know me, I work for one of the largest retailers in photography here in Quebec, and I'm on the South Shore, so I'm the instructor for the store. And it's been a busy week, and the holidays are coming, les fêtes s'en viennent, puis laisse-moi te le dire, le stationnement était plein
Wow.
avec des clientèles. Et puis, thank God I was just doing classes today, so puis demain aussi, je fais encore mes cours privés. Um, I last minute, as I wanted, well, I wanted to earlier, but instead last minute, I've put up my own 3 posts from last month's sortie photo, photography outings that I did for Gosselin. Let's start first with Milena. Milena, how you been? What have you been up to?
I've been good. Yes, I missed this group and joining for the photo reviews. But yeah, I've been keeping up with the photography whenever I can. I've been doing, I guess, a bit of each, a bit of cell phone photography, a bit of my DSLR Nikon photography, and a bit of the film one. Although I need to stock up on my film to get back into it. I don't know if there's any Black Friday deals on the film.
Actually, yeah, there are actually at Gosselin. For you, probably the closest one's going to be Laval or maybe Montreal. Which one's
I
closer for
think
you?
I don't know, either or Laval or Montreal, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, we do have Black Friday, and I think it's going on into Cyber Monday too. I'm not sure what the length of it is,
Okay.
but we
I'll,
definitely have specials on film,
I'll check that out.
for sure, for sure, for sure. And we also stocked up on our the new Kodak Kodacolor.
Oh, I would love to try
But
it.
we all have the Kodacolor 100 and the Kodacolor 200. Which is a big spiel going on about whether it's rebranded film, whether it's respooled film. But it is the first film, I think, in the last 15 years that is being sold directly from Kodak, not through Kodak Alaris. So it's actually Kodak that's selling it directly to the outlets. Any special products going on?
Well, I guess recently I was going to a bunch of car meets, so I was trying to figure out how to photograph cars. It's something that I hadn't done too much of in the past.
Okay.
So yeah, there were like some photographers there as well. I was trying to learn a bit from them. And aside from that, I don't know, now just going around and trying to get into street photography a bit more whenever I'm out. But I don't always have my camera on me. I have like a cell phone camera sometimes, so I'm trying to take advantage of that. But I know it's not exactly the same, but we do what we can with what we have at the time.
Exactly. That's all you can do. Denis, comment ça va? Ça fait longtemps qu'on s'est pas vu.
Oui, c'est vrai, ça fait plusieurs mois qu'on ne s'est pas parlé,
Ben
effectivement.
oui.
Oui.
T'as passé une belle été?
Oui, oui, oui. En fait, on planifiait notre voyage. On a fait un voyage en Europe sur le Danube. Fait que j'ai pris la photo en masse, tellement de photos que ça fait un mois et demi que j'essaie de les traiter puis de
OK.
les trier, là. C'est ça qui arrive, là. Mais non, c'est ça. Fait que non, mais c'est un beau voyage, par exemple. C'est le fun.
Fantastique. Fantastique. Puis, Mark, I missed you for the for the photographers round table there.
Ah, écoutez, il y a eu des affaires à
Ah
faire,
ben,
puis les responsabilités doivent
exact.
passer avant. Mais premièrement, bonsoir tout le monde. Deuxièmement, AJ, étant donné que c'est Black Friday puis tout ça, je suis curieux que quel cadeau de Noël que tu as acheté aux trois photographes qui sont devant toi. Écoute, tu as les connexions, puis nous autres, on t'envie, là, tu sais.
Oh, ouais, oh, ouais, oh, ouais, oh, ouais. I wish I could, guys. I wish I could.
Ben non, mais on fait bien des farces. Moi, il y a la fin d'un projet, mais l'exposition que Uncle Bob est dedans et plusieurs autres photographes, s'en va vers la fin. Ça va finir au mois de décembre. Il y a un photographe qui s'appelle Robert Adam. Dans les photos que j'ai présentées là, sur le site, on voit quelques photos de lui qui fait une présentation sur le Bangladesh. Alors, grosso modo, l'histoire, c'est que cette personne-là a l'habitude, quand il voit une photo venant de quelque part très loin, il communique avec le photographe, puis ça donne qu'il s'est fait des liens avec un photographe du Bangladesh. Puis lui, il est souvent hors pays. Son ouvrage l'amène en Inde, en Chine, partout. Puis là, il venait de terminer un contrat, puis il a appelé le photographe, puis il dit: Hey, écoute, si je me présente dans ton coin, est-ce qu'on peut se rencontrer? Puis le photographe l'a invité, puis il l'a embarqué en voiture pendant que ce photographe-là, excusez-moi, c'est un photographe de presse du Bangladesh. Il l'a embarqué avec lui excusez-moi, en voiture et s'est promené plusieurs photographes pour aller faire des photos pour différents journaux. Alors, il a beaucoup aimé l'expérience. Puis là, il a discuté de qu'est-ce qu'il a vu, puis qu'est-ce qu'il a ressenti, puis tout le kit. Ça a été une très belle conférence, là. Ça a été un plaisir. Puis ça a apporté un différent point de vue.
C'était-tu un conférencier de l'extérieur ou c'était un membre du club?
C'est un membre du club de photo Rivière-des-Prairies.
OK.
Connaissait Fab et tout ça pendant plusieurs années. Puis malheureusement, toi connaissant Fabrizio, quand tu t'ouvres la bouche et que tu dis je pourrais, tu n'as même pas le temps de finir la phrase, que le rendez-vous est déjà pris, tu as déjà de la publicité at large partout. Alors, on était une bonne dizaine, quinzaine de personnes qui étaient là. À l'endroit où ce que même tes photos. Oups, attends, il y a quelque chose qui s'est passé. Ah, OK. Ma caméra, elle a gelé pendant une seconde. Même si le monde ils ont une chance d'aller voir ça, là, ça va terminer le 2 décembre. Mais si vous voulez voir des photos d'AJ qui a été pris en photo, oui, Robert, ton oncle, Uncle Bob, t'a pris en photo avec ta Horseman 4 par 5.
Oh, oui, OK, OK. OK. Now I get it. OK,
Ah,
yeah, yeah.
c'est le 8000 boulevard Gouin, le vendredi, samedi et dimanche, habituellement de midi à 17 heures, mais des fois appelez avant de vous déplacer parce que si moindrement il y a du personnel qui manque, ils peuvent fermer plus de bonne heure ou quelque chose comme ça.
OK.
Ça, c'est ça mon affaire à date.
Fantastique. Comme je te dis, moi, le mois passé, ça a été pas mal occupé avec les fêtes qui s'en venaient. J'ai aussi, j'avais lancé j'ai créé un atelier de 2 jours sur la photographie argentique, où ce que nous avons passé samedi matin à photographier une pellicule de 24 poses de Kent Mir 400. Tout de suite après, on a retourné en salle de cours après le lunch, puis on a développé sur place justement le pellicule. Le lendemain matin, nous avons numérisé en utilisant 4 différentes façons de numériser les diapos. Pas les diapos, excusez, mais les pellicules. Puis on a passé l'après-midi à les passer dans le post-traitement pour montrer comment soit les exporter pour l'impression ou pour les réseaux sociaux. Ça a bien été. It was the first time I did that type of a workshop over 2 days. It worked out really well. Customers loved it. We had a lot of fun together. And then actually, I'm going to try to introduce a new format of photography classes in the new year, which is going to be a 1 day workshop, a thematic, evidently. So it's going to mainly be something like, for instance, photo de rue, paysage, architecture, portrait, ou what was the other one I was going to do? Oh, photo de voyage, where we're going to use the morning to go out and shoot either digitally or film, mostly digital because evidently we're still mostly in the digital era, and we're going to use the afternoon for the post-processing. So we're going to shoot in the morning, and we're going to come back into the classroom. Evidently, the participants are going to have some either a computer desktop or a laptop or tablet, and then we'll work on post-processing that same day those photos for either print or social media. Just because I want to give a full day's workshop where it's capture to finalisation, to post-processing. Because I'm getting a lot of people over the last 12 years that I've been especially giving excursions that we don't have much of a follow-up afterwards after we go out and shoot, except for the actual follow-up that we might do in the last 15 minutes of the excursion. People are looking for a little bit more coaching after they've accumulated so many photos over the 3 hour outing that we're doing. So that's going to be a new something that I'm planning for January, February, March. I'm in the process of finishing up justement mon calendrier de mois de mars. And yeah, so I'm evidently I'm falling into vacation during the holidays. So I had to use up my last 2.5 weeks worth of vacation time. So I'm taking the last 2 weeks. So maybe Mark and Melina and Denis, we can get together during the holidays if you guys are around and go out and shoot some freaking awesome photos.
Yeah.
Which has now become my slogan a little bit in my Instagram reels. But yeah, it'll give me some time to spend with the kids and with the family. My son wants to go out and shoot. The little one wants to go and shoot. She's got a role up here somewhere that she still has to finish, so that we can develop it for her. Mark, yours is on its way. I'm gonna get it done between now and next week.
Is that the one that's to 4 years old?
Yeah, basically. Melina's hearing all about it because evidently she's a member of the club. So of course, if anybody's got to bash anybody, everybody bashes AJ. Um, so but yeah. And apparently, we're going to be planning coming up very very soon. We're planning a darkroom session together. Um, I'm still working here in my bathroom as my darkroom. And I'm kind of a little bit disappointed in the sense that I still have no room to set up my 4x5 enlarger. And I really want to get that 4x5 enlarger up. C'est pour faire mes plaques de vitre et do I have it here? I do have it here. Right here. So you'll notice this is a 4x5-inch negative plate on glass.
Mhm.
And I also have film, mainly Ilford HP5. This, by the way, is 2 ISO.
My God.
So at this point, the grain is imperceptible. Even at, I would even say, I haven't tried it, but even at 16x20, I would say is imperceivable. But it's extremely long exposure. and these glass plates are only sensitive to green and blue light. So, which is really nice because I can just develop it dans un cabaret de développement avec la lumière rouge.
Ouais.
OK.
Right? But ça, évidemment, ça prend un spécial film holder for my 4x5 for my Nagaoka. I'm just trying to find. I want Milena. We already did the cars, right? The cars
Not
dated
sure at what point.
October 5th.
T'es rendu 11 novembre à peu près, où ce que j'avais mis quelque chose sur les films, en d'autres mots, troubleshooting. C'est là à peu près parce que Bob avait terminé avec Niagara le 10 novembre.
Okay, so attends.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I think it started with Mark's. Could it be Mark's motorcycle? We didn't do yet.
On l'a fait la dernière fois, Mélina, on l'a fait pendant que tu étais là, justement, parce que tu parlais que tu aimais beaucoup les motos. Puis je t'ai montré, moi, j'ai posté, j'avais posté
okay.
ma moto, puis c'était la dernière. Puis là,
Okay.
là, je sais que AJ en avait parlé d'une coupe. Puis moi, ceux que moi j'avais touchés, parce que là, la tienne, on avait vu Journée d'automne près de la vitrine. Ça avait été discuté. On avait
Près de la
AJ qui avait
vitrine.
parlé ses garagistes. Ça, on l'avait vu.
Ça, on l'avait vu, les garagistes, right?
C'est ça.
I
Puis
think,
Uncle Bob, Negative Water, ça, on l'avait vu aussi. Puis son Carnival Sunset. Puis ça nous amenait à Niagara, qui était la dernière que moi j'ai vue.
C'est ça, Niagara. OK, parfait. So, bon, it just turns out to be a photo of me. And this one over here is Mark who shot it.
Oui.
Attends
Alors,
2 secondes.
riez pas, c'est la caméra, pas le photographe. Non,
Ben, voyons.
c'est un sure shot de Canon. Puis je ne sais pas, j'ai toujours eu de la misère avec cette caméra-là. J'essayais de recommencer à prendre du film un petit peu. Puis écoute, mon zoom, c'est un arbre ou une forêt. Alors,
Mais
j'ai pris la...
est-ce que vous voyez le Facebook?
Oui,
Oui.
je le vois.
OK, parfait.
Faudrait que tu ouvres l'écran. Ben, c'est vrai, tu peux peut-être mettre l'image au complet. Non, je sais pas.
Attends.
C'est chose
Ah,
parce que moi, j'ai l'écran où ce que je vois nous quatre en haut, là.
Mhm.
t'as pas l'écran partagé?
Oui, j'ai un écran où ce que je vois ta photo et après ça, j'ai les quatre photos. Mais toi, avec trois autres photographes là, qui
Des
sont en
vignettes,
haut,
là.
là.
Comme des vignettes en haut, là. Oui.
C'est ça.
Mm.
C'est ça qu'on voit nous autres présentement.
OK. Mais mets l'écran du, du Facebook, mets-le plus grand. On your side. I can't control your side.
OK. Ben,
Are you
c'est
on
beau
2
ça.
screens?
Ben oui, là, je regarde quelque chose sur un bar, puis là, j'ai l'autre photo que tu broadcastes
OK, ça se
dans le
peut
centre.
que dans ce
Continue,
temps-là.
AJ. Continue,
OK,
AJ, il n'y a pas de problème.
parfait. Fait que
Ah,
ça, Marc, t'avais pris ça avec ton sure shot, t'as dit?
oui, le sure shot, c'était, on avait fait une idée où ce qu'on devait prendre 2 photos argentiques par mois, puis moi, au bout de 2 ans, j'ai réussi à terminer le film. Comme on voit l'image, c'est de la couleur. Là, c'est que ça a été développé par la même compagnie que tu travailles.
OK,
Puis, ce que j'ai fait, c'est que j'ai mis ça, moi, sur un jeu d'enfant qui est utilisé pour tracer des dessins. Puis,
OK.
j'ai pris une photo avec ma Canon 5DS. Alors, peut-être que ça explique un petit peu de flou dans
Oh, wait
l'image.
a minute. Tu veux me dire, ça, c'est toi qui l'as numérisé avec ton appareil photo?
Oui,
OK, OK. Je comprends. OK.
mais on peut dire que la majorité du film qui a été pris une partie des images est floue. On dirait, je ne sais pas, qu'est-ce qui pognait ou qu'est-ce qui pognait pas. Comme tu vas voir la prochaine après avec Melena.
Elle est bonne.
C'est ça, on dirait que les mains de Melena sont très claires, puis pourtant, je vise l'œil plus proche du photographe. Puis là, j'avais mis, moi, celui, je pense que c'est un 7 point quelque chose, l'ouverture.
Ouais.
Je me souviens pas, là, il faudrait que j'aille voir des instructions de la caméra.
Mais tu
Puis
avais
on
fait,
peut voir
t'essayais de faire la mise au point ici?
ou sur l'œil de Milena.
OK, sur
Ah,
l'œil de Mélina. OK, il
c'est
est
ça.
bien réussi, celui-là.
OK, ben là, moi, je trouvais que c'était pas d'un meilleur, mais en tout cas, la
Wait,
vie
wait, wait, wait a
continue.
minute, wait a minute. We're
That's
talking about
good.
film here.
OK.
OK? T'en rappelles-tu, c'était quoi le pellicule?
Fuji, mais je peux pas te donner plus d'informations parce que là, on parle de il y a.
Lacrosse?
Hein?
T'as-tu Across?
AJ, je me souviens vraiment pas parce que
OK.
c'est quelque chose qui date de plus de 3 ans, 4 ans, là.
Ah bon, OK. So you're as
Puis
bad
que
as
je
I
l'ai
am.
fini plus tard, puis que là, j'ai développé, là, puis tout ça. Puis c'est des premières photos que j'ai essayé de développer avec mon agrandisseur, là, que j'ai sorti cette pellicule-là, puis j'ai pris quelques photos, mais ça, c'est d'autres photos que j'ai essayé de faire un digital archive.
OK, so you didn't develop this on your enlarger.
Non.
OK, all right, OK. But otherwise, it's a fantastic photo.
Oui, celle-là, je l'aime plus que l'autre où ce que toi, tu tiens ta caméra.
Bon,
Là,
ici,
est-ce que ça se peut que lorsque j'ai déclenché, que tu as bougé, je ne sais pas, on dirait que ta main est plus claire
plus net,
excuse-moi, la tête, le crâne,
plus net.
plus nette. OK,
Et
plus
ça, je suis
nette.
très difficile là-dessus.
Oui, oui.
Surtout en français, parce qu'on interchange netteté et clarté.
OK.
Clarté, c'est la lumière. Netteté, c'est sharpness. In English, it's brightness and sharpness. A B and an S, you can't mix the two up. But for some reason, in québécois, en bon québécois, la clarté et la netteté, on prend ça pour la même chose. C'est pas la même chose. OK?
OK.
Je suis agaçant, je le sais. Mais ici,
Non,
je
mais
vais
c'est pas.
t'avouer que qu'est-ce que tu vois ici? C'est plutôt un flou de mouvement.
Ah,
Probablement parce que ta vitesse n'était pas assez élevée. En temps de pellicule, je te dirais que en 35 mm, la règle empirique en argentique, c'est qu'on ne veut pas tomber en bas de 1 sur le focal. So, si tu avais un 50 mm, il fallait que ça soit un cinquantième et plus.
j'ai aucun
OK?
contrôle sur la caméra. Point and shoot.
Oh, c'est un point and shoot. OK. Well, then, well, malgré que peut-être, je ne me rappelle pas où ce que j'étais parce que ça, c'est mon Highmatic, mon
Ça,
Minolta
c'est
Highmatic.
une sortie qu'on faisait pour le groupe argentique de RDP.
On était-tu dans un restaurant ou quelque chose?
Oui, le surfin à Rivière-des-Prairies. Généralement, tu avais toi, Bob, Luco, moi, Fab, Gisèle, puis des
C'est
fois, il y
drôle
avait
parce que
d'autres photographes qui se joignaient à nous autres.
ton point and shoot, il n'y avait pas un flash dessus? Ou il n'y a pas de flash?
Oui, je pense qu'il y a un flash.
Because the fire, it didn't fire.
Je pense
That's
pas.
weird. OK. Anyways.
Mais je
And
l'aime
it
pas,
looks
puis garde
mostly
ça.
like a motion blur.
Ouais.
OK?
Alors, tout le monde, je suis plus artistique. Alors, j'ai mis un motion blur avec la caméra.
Voilà.
C'est bon, ça.
But still, en tant que la qualité de la photo en tant que telle est bonne. OK? C'est pas un flou qui est aberrante. Right? Ça, je vais t'avouer que ça, c'est un problème, surtout avec la numérique aujourd'hui. Depuis 25 ans, on est programmé à chercher toujours la perfection. And I've said it more times than not, photography has nothing to do with perfection. Photography has to do with excellence. And in the end, this is an excellent photo. I prefer having that slight bit of motion blur because it adds more context. See, especially in the last few months, I've come to when I explain the triangle, surtout entre profondeur de champ et flou de mouvement, c'est que ta profondeur de champ définit la composition de ta photo. Fond flou, fond net. Background blur, background sharpness has to do with the composition of my photo. Motion blur, for me, adds more to the context of the elements in my shot. Evidently, technically, yes, I'm technically still in this photo, but my body is in motion. I'm breathing. I have a heartbeat. You know, I'm balancing to stay vertical. Those little micro movements for me don't bother me. As the photographer that I am, I actually not emphasize, but what's the word I'm looking for? Mark, help me here. Promote. No, well, promote's not the right word, but voyons, c'est quoi le mot que je cherche?
What's the rest of the sentence?
Non, mais c'est parce que, not promote, mais il essaie d'encourager.
Yeah, that encourage. That's it. There you go. Thank you.
Encourage.
I encourage a little bit of motion blur in most photography where the subject might actually, where that motion will add a second layer of context to the photo. Okay. And plus, it's a lot easier to do with film because film has a much larger latitude for light, which allows us to push it much farther in shutter speeds and in evidently in ISOs. Okay. Here, it's a fantastic shot. Milena is beautifully frozen. She's posing for you because she's smiling at you, right?
Yeah.
And you will always get a little bit of that motion in the extremities because evidently our extremities are less stable than our bodies are, right? But this also comes down to the photography we used to do 40, 50, 60 years ago, where nobody was looking for precision. Everybody was just looking for a beautiful shot, right? Digital photography has kind of, in a sense, and it's all because of the companies, it's all because of the manufacturers, have kind of moved us more away from the art to push us more towards the precision of photography because, according to them, our camera systems can do it. But the more important question to answer is it really worth it if my eye can't perceive the difference? That's what we have to ask ourselves. You know what I mean? You know, these cameras that do 1/8,000th of a second, 1/32,000th of a second, that's a freaking fast. You know what I mean? Something's got to be moving really, really fast for me to want to even touch that because at those shutter speeds, evidently, you're destroying your highlights. You're not giving the camera time to capture any information in your highlights. So it's got to be for a very specific reason why you would want to freeze something that fast. Shooting 120 images per second, hell, it's created a whole new market, right, for the triage de nos photos because people are shooting 5,000 images per second. 5,000 images in a single shoot over a single day. They don't want to have to sort through those photos. So what have they done now? They've integrated artificial intelligence to be able to cut out your shit shots and stack those that are out of focus, stack the ones that are in focus, stack the ones that are freezing motion, stack the ones that are, you know, use that I mean, please, really, seriously? It's gotten ridiculous. Anyway, sorry, I went off on a tangent as I always do. That's the Italian in me. But still, to come back to this image, it's a fantastic shot, Mark. Congratulations.
I got my Kodak camera there.
That's because you know, from over here, I'm looking at it because I'm looking at it in a smaller window than my screen is. I thought it was one of the contacts.
It's the half frame, the H35.
Is it the half frame? Okay, because it looks like a Contax. What is it called? It's the Contax. I think it's the titanium. And it's like a $5,000 film camera.
Oh.
Like, Melina, you got a nice gift there.
Well,
I'll show you one after. Melina, here's some of your what was this? This was a petting zoo?
Yeah, it's actually I think they had a part of a Santa's village in a mall.
Okay.
They had these, I guess, Santa's reindeer to go visit
Nice.
and you could feed.
Right?
It's very
So I
nice.
don't know, they were that day they seemed very friendly and cozying up to each other, and I
Okay.
had my camera on me that day, and I decided to try to
This
get.
was with the half frame, or was this
No,
with
this
the
is not
digital?
film. This is digital. This is with my
Okay.
Nikon D5500 with a 50 millimeter fixed lens. So I tried to
Okay.
get
Well,
like
so
a
that you were
portrait.
close here.
Yeah, I was trying to get a portrait shot of them.
Nice.
Yeah, it was hard to photograph them because they kept moving around, but I
Right?
tried to get them when they were doing something or like speaking to each other.
But still here you got just enough shutter speed to freeze them still.
Right, yeah. I forget the shutter speed I used, but yeah, I was
The colors are great. The lighting is perfect.
Very nice.
yeah.
This is the exhibition that Mark was talking about, right?
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Is that?
That's
Robert-
Robert. That's
Robert
Robert.
Adam. And those are his pictures. What you see on the left-hand side are his
Where's he
pictures
standing?
in Bangladesh. Hein?
Oh, this was when you guys were setting up the place?
Non, ça, c'est la même place que toi, tes photos sont que Uncle Bob a pris et que moi aussi, le Street Photography Intersection. Qu'est-ce qui arrive, c'est qu'il y a une fenêtre. Moi, j'ai sorti de la pièce où ce qui donnait la conférence, puis j'ai comme framé Robert Adam à travers le cadrage de fenêtre. Puis sur ce
Ah,
mur-là, il y a ses photos. Alors, voilà le photographe dans un cadre et il y a ses photos sur le côté gauche. C'est ça que j'ai essayé de faire dans mon idéologie.
Cool.
so this is your new salle de conférence.
Non, ça, c'est l'endroit où il y a l'exposition, le 8000 boulevard Gouin-Est.
Mais tu
On
viens
a
de dire
fait
que
la salle
en-
la conférence de Robert a été faite à le même endroit que nos photos sont exposées.
Ah, bon. Okay. Mark, it's a great shot. You got the exposure down. You and what's great is that the lighting on the frames on the photos versus the lighting this is not an HDR, right?
Non, it's not HDR.
Okay.
Ça a été travaillé après ça dans Adobe Camera Raw et ACR.
Okay.
Puis après
Well,
ça, amené en Photoshop. Mais en Photoshop, j'ai pas eu grand-chose à travailler là-dessus, là.
you got a wonderful shot here. Beautiful shot.
I love how like Robert is framed as though he's one of the photos.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's good,
Exactly.
yeah. You're right.
Ça marche très bien avec cette photo-là. And these are his photos.
Oui.
Yeah, really good.
Puis il parlait justement c'est là la conférence qui parlait, là, puis tout le kit.
There's the prima donna. What a comedian.
Was
Right?
he posing for this picture?
Non, il faisait une niaiserie parce que si vous voyez, je pense qu'AJ, tu les connais, tu as le président du club
Oui.
Mascouche,
Mascouche.
Sylvain, et
Oui.
Sylvain avait amené quelqu'un que malheureusement, je ne me souviens pas de son prénom, à la conférence. Puis là, monsieur faisait le tour des photos de l'exposition Intersection. Puis là, mais mon Fab a fait quelque chose pendant que j'étais en train de faire mon setup de l'image, que j'étais en train de me préparer à prendre une photo. Il a fait une niaiserie. Ben là, c'est pris pour la postérité.
Fantastic. Beautiful shot.
But yeah, AJ, there are some pictures that we did miss from last time, right before your astro shots. You could do them maybe at the end.
Okay. This one here is Mark with the OM10 using Kentmere Pan 200.
C'est ça.
Parfait.
Fab me recommande de peut-être ne plus utiliser cet appareil-là parce qu'on peut voir que la lentille est soft au niveau comme le crâne. Quand j'ai fait mon focus, moi, c'est sur la mâchoire que j'ai fait mon focus, ma mise au point. Puis on dirait que j'ai de la misère avec cette caméra-là. Là. Puis là, ça se peut que ce soit le photographe aussi, parce que je suis en
When
train
I
de
see
travailler.
you, remind me to have a look at it. Worst comes to worst, you know what? I'll see if I can bring a short film. I have my OM1, which uses the same lens as you. It's a 50mm too, and we can test it and see if because this looks more like you focused on the head, but then you lowered the camera.
Yes.
So I'm wondering
Ouais.
if when you reframed it, it pushed the focus farther out.
Ah, peut-être.
Because technically, specific with manual focus lenses, once you focused, maybe it could have been also maybe you just by error you moved the focus ring.
C'est ça. Mais j'ai avec cette caméra-là un petit peu de flou. Bob a pris les photos, il avait testé la caméra. Écoute, moi je pense que Bob est miraculeux là, parce que mais la photo, les photos qu'il a prises, on était très proches un de l'autre. Tandis que là, j'étais à une quinzaine, vingtaine de pieds. Parce que
Okay.
si on regarde les scalettes, ils ont à peu près une dizaine, une douzaine de pieds d'auteur. Parce que si on compare ça à la maison.
Because when you reframed it, the focus fell here. You focused here, right?
Mhm. J'ai recomposé, c'est que j'ai
T'as
baissé juste
recomposé.
l'angle
Ben,
pour
c'est ça.
avoir.
Je me demande si c'est-tu l'angle qui a changé la mise au point ou c'est peut-être juste voyons, la bague qui a été bougée quand tu t'es déplacé.
Ah,
Anyways,
peut-être c'est quelque chose qu'il faudrait que j'observe parce que je l'aime, le petit Olympus. Là,
parce que laisse-moi te le dire, hein, you have no light leaks. I mean, the camera is perfect. And if it's just a lens, it's nothing to find another lens.
Ouais. Ben, c'est ça. Là, il faut dire aussi que ça a été rentré. Je l'ai travaillé dans Photoshop aussi, là, puis tout le kit, là, mais
Ouais.
c'est ça.
Ça, c'est encore avec l'OM10.
Oui, c'est une série de films c'est un film que j'ai pris 24 pauses là, que tu m'avais recommandé quand j'avais été à ta compagnie
Ouais.
pour ramasser. Puis là, lui, j'ai fait le focus sur les yeux du chien et j'ai recadré mon appareil pour prendre le restant du monde, là, tu sais.
OK.
Alors, c'est peut-être un ajustement
Oups,
de
sorry.
technique, là, tu sais.
Ben, c'est ça, exactement. And you you scanned it. You photographed it through your 5D
Oui,
Oh,
handheld.
ooh.
handheld.
Tu sais, c'est sûr que là,
Oh, wait
gars,
a minute. Handheld.
Oui.
And what shutter speed were you at on the 5D?
Là, je me souviens pas, je me souviens pas, LJ. Mais c'est peut-être. Non, c'est ça, il y a de la technique aussi.
Bon, c'est pas juste la technique. C'est-à-dire que moi, là, quand je fais um, surtout quand je fais du numérisation de pellicule. Hold on, where's my zoom? I want to zoom out. Is that the, yeah, that's the most. I have this, which basically specifically only for scanning films. So the camera goes here. This is tightened. This is tightened. And I shoot straight down.
Ouais.
Okay. And you focus on the film plane. The idea is that you actually try to focus as much as possible on the grain itself to make sure that that is not motion blur of you trying to hold the camera steady while shooting the negative. You know what I'm saying?
Ouais.
Okay. This
Mais
is
comme
one
j'ai
of the.
dit, là,
These are
c'est
one
le
of.
premier essai, là, on va améliorer. Écoute, il y a une couple de semaines, je faisais même pas ça.
Ouais,
Alors, on avance ça tranquillement, puis
c'est
j'ai
ça.
des coachs comme amis qui vont m'aider.
Yeah, you just got to know which ones are BSing you.
Ouais, mais c'est pour ça que j'invite Milena chez moi et pas toi. Euh,
I noticed this shot over here. This was with your 5DS.
oui,
À 1/2 centième, à f5 à 640 ISO. And it's
That's
a beautiful
nice.
shot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is really nice.
it's
It's
pretty
a beautiful
clear.
shot. I love the sharpness because you can actually see the texture
Yeah.
of the rust. Where did you find this?
c'est une amie, elle a ça dans sa cour. J'ai été là avec ma 5DS et l'Olympus en même temps, puis j'ai comparé un peu les photos en prenant avec du film et en prenant avec du numérique.
Okay. So here we fall on mine,
Wow.
which is
Oh,
so this was I was telling you guys about my weekend workshop, the Saturday Sunday. This was the reason I got to admit I'm very proud of this shot of this film because technically and this was shot on my OM, where is it? This was shot on my OM1, which is this camera here. Okay.
okay.
And I like Mark said, the one thing I love about this camera is how small it is. Hold on, I'm just going to stop this for a second so that you can get this big. Okay. This camera, if I compare it, say, to a Nikon, okay, is smaller lengthwise and even thickness wise.
Yeah.
Okay. It's such a beautiful camera to carry around with you. So basically, I had the same 24 exposure that my students had. This is a roll of Kentmere 400. I forgot to put it.
Hey Jay,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to change screen.
Oh, sorry. Exactly. Where is it? Here it is.
What you're gonna show is a
wait a minute.
contact sheet.
I can do that. I can do that. What does this look like, guys? Tell me what this looks like. I'm curious.
Yeah.
Does that look better for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, I'm going to make a quick edit here. This here is. So this is Kentmere 400. And I actually got 27 exposures out of it. And what I was really proud of, particularly with this film, is that all the shots came out at the same density. And technically what I did here was I specifically slightly overexposed. So I gave a little bit more shutter speed. Sorry, no, not shutter speed, time. Okay. So if the camera was telling me, let's say, for instance, 1/125th of a second, I was shooting it at 1/60th of a second. So I purposefully overexposed the film so that the actual images came out just a little bit darker so that I get a little bit more detail in the highlights. Sorry, not in the highlights. This is negative film in the shadows. So that all to say that this is a weeping willow exactly at the park where I bring my private students when they take classes with me. Now, I didn't do any actual adjustments to it. I just converted them from negative to positive using Negative Lab Pro. You'll notice here the Weeping Willow, I shot it at f4 at 1/25th of a second. It was still rather a bright day. It wasn't sunny. C'était nuageux, mais tu sais, un plafond blanc. And I just slightly overexposed it because I wanted to get a little bit more in the tree. Parce que évidemment, j'étais pointé vers le soleil aussi. Puis je voulais pas que ça soit un silhouette. This one here is a little candy shop in Vieux-la-Prairie,
Yeah,
here
I
on
know
the South Shore. Comment?
I
Vous
know the
connaissez,
place.
Denis?
Yeah, I know the place.
You know the
Always go
place?
there.
I
Yeah,
still
it's
haven't
really-
gone in there yet because I know that if I go in there, I'd have to have an empty wallet
Yeah,
and not my Interact card.
yeah. They have a lot of old candies that we used to have when we were young.
Okay.
Interesting.
So pretty
Est-ce
nice.
que les bonbons sont vieux ou ils les ont changés depuis?
Non, ils ont changé. Mais tu sais, comme, je sais pas si tu te souviens, les popcorn roses, là, avec les elephant on
L'éléphant.
the horse, là. Yeah.
Ouais.
Oui.
Moi, c'était
Ouais,
les
they have
petits
that.
outils qui étaient mes préférés dans le temps.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
no.
know what you're talking about, I don't think.
Ça coûte cher. Pour 25 cents, tu n'auras pas grand-chose, là, comme à l'époque, là, mais,
But just to
mais
show you,
On avait un
this
sac
image.
gros de même quand on avait 25 cents dans le temps.
Oh yeah, no, dans le temps. But here you'll notice, you see, I still was able to retain the definition of the brick here in this corner
Mhm.
because I specifically overexposed the film.
Yeah.
When you say overexpose, how much do you overexpose? 1/3? One
Oh
stop?
God, no, not with film. 1/3 won't do shit for film. When we talk about film, we talk about overexposing it by a stop or two.
Okay.
Technically, you can overexpose evidently depending on the film. You can overexpose up to, I've got images out of a film that was overexposed by 4 stops. Digital, you lose information at +1. 4
Mhm.
stops is telling the camera you have 16 times more light. When I shot my first glass plates, I was so out of the whole, say, my glass plates have an ISO of 2, and they're more sensitive to ultraviolet, blue and green than they are to red, right?
Yeah.
And I've gotten literally plates that looking at the plate itself looked transparent, but holding it on an angle, holding it flat out, you could actually see like the textured emulsion of the silver salt still there, and I was able to scan it and still get an image out of it. See, that
Your
was
glass plate, do you put it with a black background in back?
no. That's if I wanted to change it to a positive.
Okay.
And use and then therefore that plate would become literally a slide, un diapo.
Okay.
Because diapo is basically just negative film that's been bleached to turn the negative positive on the film. Okay? So there's technically 2 developments that have to go on to be able to turn a negative film into a positive film. Now, evidently, when we develop slide film, it's part of the process. In the process, there's a bleach that we use that renders the film from negative to positive on the film itself. Because when we develop in the darkroom, what you're doing is literally your positive is on the paper. That's why you need the negative film, because what's black in the film is white on the paper because you're blocking the white light, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what's transparent on the film is burning the paper and turning the paper black. But when you use a slide, you're using white light transferring through the film to a white wall. Well, you need that white light to have no whatsoever, no manipulation from the film. That's why we used to say with specifically with slide film, we want to underexpose, not overexpose. And if the photo itself was too dark, all you have to do is increase the intensity of the bulb in the projector. But you'd still retain the information in your clouds. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
This here was, we had come up across this, I have no idea what the plants were, but it just made for a really nice silhouette on the wall of the house. And one of my students was asking me, so if we come across this kind of image where I want to make the shadow the element, what would I do here? And again, in this particular case here, because I wanted to be able to retain some of the separation over here from, because basically this shadow is created by this plant, because the sun was up here over our shoulder, over our left shoulder. So what I did here was I overexposed it by about half a stop. Now, Mark, I have an Olympus like you have. Now, your Olympus has a needle, right?
No.
It doesn't have
it has little dots which will tell me the speed. So if I want to add more light, all I have to do instead of taking this speed, I go to the one at the bottom, which will slow down the shutter speed. So I'll overexpose by slowing down the shutter speed.
So then my question to you is, at that point, I don't have it on mine because I do it with a needle. Do you have an over-under button on the top of the camera?
Yes, I would have the compensation at... excusez-moi, j'ai de la misère à parler, là, un petit peu
Correct,
fatigué.
no?
C'est que j'ai la compensation d'exposition en jouant avec le ISO. C'est un bouton, puis ils disent 1, 2 plus, ou 1,
OK, c'est
2.
ça, exactement.
C'est
So
ça,
dans-
mais c'est en jouant avec le ISO qui fait ça. Mais je vais te le montrer, AJ, quand on va
Yeah,
se
show
voir.
me, because I got to feel it's not the ISO. It's probably actually adjusting the light meter.
Ah, OK.
It's
Peut-être,
probably
je sais
just
pas.
telling you, like, you know, this is the speed. Rather than 1/60th, you should be at 1/25th if you want -1, or you should be at 1/30th if you want +1.
Yeah.
C'est ce que je veux dire?
Oui.
So what it's doing is it's just shifting the indicator for you.
Moi,
But
je
we'll
le
look at
faisais
it when
pas
I
en
see you.
Moi, je le faisais pas en utilisant cette fonction-là, je le faisais mentalement.
Okay, parfait. Ça, c'est l'église. Denis connaît celui-là. Ça, c'est l'église
La
qui
prairie.
est justement dans le centre-ville du vieux.
La
Et
prairie,
puis,
oui.
I just love the way that the steeple fit right in between the two trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Elle
It
est
would have been
encadrée.
nicer if I had a little bit of like blue patches in the clouds, but evidently here the sky was just white.
Mhm.
This was a justement,
Yeah.
this was a
The
so this is what this
jack-o'-lantern.
would have been November. This was November 8th, so they still left out their Halloween decorations. And I thought it was keen to see him the way he was darkly dressed with the bench contrasted against the White House behind him.
Yeah, I love the contrast. Oh, this
All
is really nice,
Yeah.
this one, eh?
This one here is and it's literally it's right in the middle. There's a lot of these little shacks that are actual houses, and I believe they are being lived in because evidently they're curtains and everything. And you could see just on the edge over here, you can see the car parked in the driveway. And they're all heritage homes. So technically, if there's renovations to be done, they have to be by law. They have to follow the same style, the same, you know what I mean? They're protected
Right,
by the
right.
heritage. This specifically is something I do to bug Uncle Bob with. Throughout my childhood,
This,
when I was living in the Repentigny,
C'est moi ou AJ
Uncle Bob
il est
used to
gelé?
live in front of our house. And he had this
I'm
photo
not sure if AJ.
that he shot, I think it was in Florida, I'm not sure, I could be wrong, of a fire hydrant, but he had put his sunglasses on it. So every time I see a fire hydrant now,
You put
I
the
have to
glasses on.
stop and take a picture with my glasses on it.
Ah,
That's
I
good.
didn't even notice the glasses at first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
because it's supposed to look like a little minion,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
So every time I see one of these, you know, or I'll even just with my phone, put my glasses on, take a picture, text it to Uncle Bob, and he'll always come back with some kind of a comeback. I know that photo. That photo looks so familiar.
Yeah.
I love the
Stay-
way the glasses are where the bolts are, the nuts and the bolts of the.
This was another house in front of the cottage you saw. This was another house that
Yeah.
had all kinds of little stuff. Evidently, they're a dog lover. Uh,
Nice.
this was to see how much texture I could get out of a 400 ISO because this particular house had this kind of like a railing, kind of like a fence, I guess, a grill in front of the house. Right on the edge. They didn't have it. They didn't have much front property because the house was literally built on the sidewalk type thing. And I just love the texture in this knotted deadwood here.
Yes.
I cannot remember. There's a name for this particular kind of light where it's shining through trees, branches, or leaves. Milena, do you know what it is?
I know what you're talking about, but
It's that kind of that glary kind of, you know what I mean? And
Like
I
a
just
star.
found this ça a marché
Flare?
pour a flare,
Sure.
but there's a term for it. I can't remember what the term is. I'll have to come back and post it in the photo itself.
But it looks like a
Sorry.
five-legged star or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. C'est comme quand tu utilises n'importe quelle ouverture passée F8.
Oui.
Qu'est-ce que tu es en train de faire? C'est voir, tu sais, les lamelles du diaphragme où ce qui se rejoint. That's where the flares are coming from. So technically, I know it's not in this particular case, but if you were to use like F16, F11, sorry, F16, F22, F32, normally you could count the flares and divide by 2, and that's how many leaves you have in the aperture.
Yeah.
Okay, AJ, here I have a couple of words. I have dapple sunlight, dapple light, sunbeam, sun ray.
I was also searching it. Yes, dapple.
And we have one, I believe it's a Japanese term, saying komoribi. Komoribi is the word is untranslatable, which eloquently captures the effect of sunlight streaming through leaves and trees.
That's probably it. But it is the flaring of the sun, but this is caused not by the aperture, more so by the because I wasn't at F16 to get that kind of a flare. It's really the fact that it's passing through the branches
Of the tree, yeah.
of the trees.
Mhm.
And I was curious to also know what kind of a glare I would get out of the sun when I shot that. This one here was shot with my A7 Mark III with my 2070 f4. So here everybody can find my exposure, and you'll notice here that most of these photos, because I shot them at night, this was night photography in Saint-Jean sur Richelieu. I was mostly between 3200 and 12,800 ISO. And I will be the first one to tell anybody to stop listening to the frickin' internet about noise being grain. It's got nothing to do with grain. There is no such thing as grain digitally. Okay? Noise is a signal distortion created by the electronics of the sensor. That's all it is. And what it is typically is a distortion of color, not resolution. If I talk to you about grain is elemental, it's physical, it's organic. The larger the grain, the less it can capture in resolution because the grain is bigger than the small detail at infinity. I have a 24 megapixel camera with my A7 III. It's always, whether I'm at 100 ISO, whether I'm at 51,200 ISO, I'm still at 24 megapixels. What's happening is t'es en train d'éclater tes pixels rouge, vert et bleu qui créent réellement des taches rouge, vert et bleu où ce que je devrais pas, où ce que je devrais avoir une couleur uniforme. Instead of a uniform color, what's happening is I'm breaking down the pixel colors, red, green, and blue. And if you look here, in the sky, you can see pixelation. But it's not a uniform sky to begin with because it was a cloudy night and it was actually snowing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it was a gray sky. It wasn't a black sky. But when you look at the image, for the image itself, does it bother you?
No.
There you go.
No, the message goes through.
Why would I be afraid
Yeah.
of shooting at 12,800 if I absolutely need 1/50th of a second? Because I shot it at 34 millimeters. I'm not exactly twice my focal length, but I'm close to it, right? If I would have shot it at a 30th of a second, then yes, I would have gotten motion blur. But look at my sign.
It's clear.
It's clear. It's sharp.
Yeah. Yep.
Look at the background. Okay, don't forget, I'm shooting at f4 here. That background is probably 60, 70 feet away, right? And I focused here mainly. I focused here, right? Look at this one. I don't know. Well, this was a shop beside a microbrasserie. So these guys seem to have been selling just beer steins. Voyons.
Des bocs à bière.
Des bocs à bière, exactement. And again, I'm at 20 millimeters. I shot it at 1/60th of a second at f4. I'm still shooting it at evidently 12,800 ISO. And, you know, some are going to argue with me that I applied some kind of noise reduction. I apply absolutely no noise reduction, not at 12,800. Above 12,800, then I would apply noise reduction.
Me with my 5DS, 3,200, and I start having problems.
Because it's a 50 megapixel sensor.
Mm.
That's why. See, the other thing people don't understand is that the higher the megapixels, the higher the resolution of the sensor, the smaller the pixels are, the more they have a chance of overloading with their color. This is why, still to this day, I love my 24 megapixel, hands down. Last week, I borrowed the new Sony A1 Mark II. Don't get me wrong, it's an impressive camera. Don't get me wrong, it's an impressive piece of technology, okay? But 50 megapixels, now I've been working since 2018 with a 24 megapixel. I even found in the viewfinder that the damn thing was too sharp. The photos I found were too crunchy. When you look at this shot, right? Actually, the last sequence I uploaded is from the A1 Mark II. You'll see what I mean. Okay. Aside from the fact that the A1 Mark II, you want to know what the raw files are, uncompressed? 110 megapixels, 110 megabytes.
Ah.
Mon ordi arrachait pour traiter, juste pour importer les photos. Il arrachait. What do you guys think of this shot?
It's very nice.
Colors came out really, really nice. Now, technically, I cropped this because I was far enough from the building that there was nothing in the sky. And evidently, because of if you notice the lighting, anything above the actual lights is completely black. Actually, I don't know if you guys can see it, but the photo finishes here at about here.
Yes.
It shows a
So
little.
what I did was I took out the bottom, I took out the top to make it more of a panoramic, right? And I thought it played well, even with the cars. I tried to leave the cars dark enough that they'd fall more into the background and still be able to bring out the painting, the mural on the wall.
Yeah.
Well, the essential of the mural, you can see the person singing while the cars hide what seems to be the door and
Yes,
anything on the side that's not important to the story.
exactly. And even at that, I mean, mind you, I mean, they were strong spotlights to begin with, but to get 1/160th of a second at f4, I was at 5,000 ISO. I didn't have to be at 12,800 ISO. And still at 70 millimeters, I'm exactly twice my focal length. Even if come on.
Yeah.
It's sharp.
Yeah.
Right? This here was a example of, so typically here, I wanted 3 to 4 times my focal length because I wanted to freeze the car while panning with the car. En français, on parle de filet, right? Ici, on suit l'auto, mais on cherche quand même une vitesse assez élevée, que l'auto soit figée, mais que je vois un petite qualité de flou derrière le sujet. I'm going to show you another shot I did with the 50 megapixel camera where I completely blurred out the background with motion, but froze the car in the middle.
And how do you do that by panning the camera and following
Yes.
the vehicle?
So it takes a few attempts. So and technically what I did last week with the A1 is I took 8 shots. Believe it or not, the one shot I succeeded was the second shot.
Okay.
The second shot allowed me, because every other one I tried after that to show people what I was doing, I was evidently, when you concentrate too much on something, right? You're concentrating so much on it, you're not getting it because you're either too fast or too slow, too fast or too slow. That's what happened to me with that one. This one over here, I think I took 3 shots and this was the best shot of the 3.
Okay.
Oh, this was remember where that mural was? This was in a restaurant on the opposite side. So what it is it's a big, huge window with a painting on the inside. And I just love the fact that I could still see the reflection of the brewery behind me, because you can see it here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right? And all these lights were Christmas lights on the balcony behind me.
That's so nice.
It just worked.
A lot of your pictures that you're presenting, they're like paintings or artworks.
Oh, please. I love graffiti.
Oh, this is nice.
Oh, yes.
It's so
Okay.
sharp, eh?
I love graffiti.
Like
And I'm at
compared to
110. I scrapped my rule of thumb with twice the focal length. I'm at 70 millimeters. I should be at 1/160th of a second. You know what I did here? I propped my shoulder up against the wall. I literally pressed the shutter while I exhaled, while I relaxed. And look at the beautiful shot. And you can see the snow coming down.
No tripod required, right?
No tripod whatsoever. Look at that. And you can see the snow.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, I was about to ask what
Yeah, this is snow falling.
yeah, it's snow.
I mean, we had a beautiful night. We really had a beautiful night.
Wow, very nice. It looks like
Here's
it's
another
part of
one.
the mural, right? Like the light with the snow.
Yeah.
I thought it was part of the painting at first.
Oh, no, no, no. That was happening before. That was happening in front of it.
Okay, wow.
What the hell?
Yeah.
There we go. This was one of the first shots that I had shot there. It was a Chinese restaurant, and I love that it's got that kind of authentic old time, I would say old time, like the 50s, the 60s type sign. There
Yeah.
you see few of them nowadays. But I just loved the with the street lamp in front of it. I just found it made for a nice shot.
Mm-hmm.
And again, here I'm twice the focus. I'm at 1/50th of a second because I was at 25 millimeters.
What is that effect where the lights become stars when you have a slow shutter speed? What is the name of that effect?
Oh, well, it's not. This is not because of the shutter speed. That's because of the aperture.
Oh, of the aperture. Okay.
The aperture, yeah. Because I was at five. I was slightly closed. I was at 5.6. I was one stop
Okay.
closed from the f4. So see all these. So if you were to count every one of these flares,
Mm-hmm.
right? So let's say from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Mark, 16 divided by 2.
8.
8.
8. So there you go. I'm so not a mathematician. So my lens has 8 leaves.
But how do you know that? Like that your
It's an
lens.
optical
Okay.
effect of, it's like, for instance, when you see let's say you see a star field and you see
Yes.
6 spikes versus 4
Mhm.
spikes in the star.
Okay.
Well, the reason you see 6 spikes is because technically the telescope is a mirror scope, and is the secondary mirror is only being held by a 3-spoke, what we call a spider.
Okay.
The one that has 4 is actually a 4-legged spider holding the center mirror. So what's happening is, think of a Y, right? Hold on. Real quick. So think of a Y. So you have a mirror in the middle, a Y.
Now, AJ, if you're trying to show a whiteboard, all we're seeing is your face. Okay.
Oh, there we
Okay. So what's holding that center mirror? Well, not with. Hold
go.
on.
Your camera has a mind of its own.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Let me get her back here. Come here. Oh, where are you, dumbass?
It's like a document book.
There you go. There we go. Say, so, okay, you know what? Let me take the tracking off. That'll help. There we go. Ellie, stop tracking. Okay. So you see, so that's the spider with the mirror in the middle. What you're seeing is, do I have another color pen? Yes, I do. So if we follow each leg, what's happening is you're getting that. So the black leg, which was the original, whoops, where is it? This black leg here optically is being extended over here. The black leg over here is being extended optically, whoops, here. And this black leg is being, so what happens is when you have an aperture, let's say, like this, right?
Right.
What you're actually getting because my drawing is shit, this is what you're getting. You're getting those flares coming out of that aperture.
Okay.
Okay.
Fortunately, AJ, you're a good photographer.
Unfortunately. Hang on. I'm gonna go back here. Give me this. And I know there's a term for that. I have to find it to explain it better. Okay. So we saw this one.
Yeah.
Saw that one.
Yeah.
Saw that one.
Yeah.
Okay, you know
going in
what?
the wrong direction.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be, hold on. No, it's because for some reason, because what I did was I posted these photos through my Andrew James photography, and then I shared it. I think what it did was it doubled up the posts. So we're just gonna
okay.
go back to the actual post. So, go back to the post, which is here. Okay, so we saw these.
Okay.
We'll do this one here.
Okay,
So this one here was, j'avais décidé cette semaine de faire, pas cette semaine, vendredi passé, pas hier, avant, la semaine d'avant, was to do a travel photography, but at night. And evidently this is what ended up coming out of it. So this here is one of the oldest barbers shops here. Now Giovanni's not there anymore. He passed away a few years back, but somebody had took it over and kept his name to continue the the pedigree of the barbershop itself. Now it's a young guy, I think, that's taken over it.
These are with
But
the same camera?
These
or-
are with, no, these are with an A1 Mark II. I mean, come on, seriously. That's 50 megapixels.
Wow.
Okay.
And I'm shooting at literally 12,000 ISO.
Wow.
Okay. Here I was showing how to shoot reflections
Oh,
in the
yeah.
window.
Mhm.
These were two of my students that were there that night.
What was the technique here? Or was there
Oh,
another?
no, here, well, actually, hold on. Wait, no, you know what? I know what I can do. Hold on. Because I have to put in I did it such last minute. Hold on a sec. Where did I put the exports? I put them in. Where is it? It's in here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Open. Under Facebook reviews. Remember, that would have been photo de voyage. Allez. So this is the reflections, which are here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Allez.
Est-ce que, Denis, tu nous présentes des photos à soir?
Ben, bon, je ne sais pas il doit y avoir quelques photos encore du groupe à présenter, hein. Moi, j'en avais pas mis encore dernièrement. J'en avais pas mis dernièrement.
OK.
Je vais en mettre prochainement, là. Ben, j'étais encore en train d'y travailler.
Ouais.
Comment?
Non, c'est ça, en voyage, j'ai pris plein de photos. J'ai pris à peu près 1000 photos, mais je suis encore en train d'y travailler.
Ah, bon. Ça a été pour combien de temps?
Ah, en tout, on était parti une dizaine de jours. C'était une croisière sur le Danube. On a fait comme République tchèque à Prague. On a
Nice.
été à Vienne, en Autriche. On a été à, à Budapest, en Hongrie. Fait que, non, c'était vraiment bien, là. Mais c'est surtout des photos de paysages que j'ai pris, là.
OK.
Mais l'architecture devait être écœurante là-bas.
Oui, effectivement, là. À un moment donné, on descendait le Danube. On était parti de la République tchèque, on s'en allait vers. Non, ouais, non, c'est ça, de l'Allemagne, on allait vers l'Autriche. Fait que tout le long du Danube, on voyait les châteaux, on voyait les maisons, là, c'était fantastique, là.
OK.
Puis,
Excusez.
non, pas
Sorry,
de problème.
I just got the information. So this photo here, 12,800 ISO, f5, 1/10 of a second, because I exposed it at -1 and I shot it at 54 millimeters.
OK.
Actually, I could do this. Could I do
Sorry.
this? Will it work? Allez. Yes, I can. Control C, edit, Control V. No, didn't like it. Hold on. Select all. Control C. Control. No, didn't like it. A1 Mark II plus FE 20 to 70 millimeter at 54 millimeters. And I'm shooting it at 1/10 f5, 12,800 ISO, exposure -1. So when I shoot, don't forget, reflections are always darker than the actual positive image, right? So here I wanted to emphasize more on my subjects standing behind me. So, because otherwise, if I would have been at 0, it would have been washed out in the window. So when I shoot reflections in the windows, I'm usually always at -1. This shot, oh, sorry, wrong shot. I went the wrong way again. Which one is this? That's the bar. Okay, the barber shop. The barber shot I shot at 2,500 ISO at f5 at 1/80th of a second, but I was zoomed in more, less here, as evidently is a wider shot. This shot here, I shot it at, again, 50 millimeters. I slightly underexposed it to -0.7, -2 tiers, which gave me a shutter speed of 1/40th. This was just a really, I found it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful window dressing for the
Yes.
winter, for Christmas.
Mm.
And this one I shot it at, again, 53 millimeters at -1. I was at f5 at 120, 1/125 à 3200 ISO à -1. and Vieux-Longueuil, at the park in front of La Caserne, the firehouse, is this statue, which I shot this one at f4.5 at 12,800 ISO, gave me a shutter speed, the 1/30 de seconde, 1/30th of a second. Again, still underexposed by -1. And the reason I underexposed it at -1 was really because of all this light here in the back at the bank.
Okay.
It was just way too blown out. Oh, this was fun.
This
So
is really
next,
nice.
actually, what are we? We're the 28th. Starting this weekend is the Marché de Noël for Longueuil. So they were setting up, they just set up the kiosks. Here again, I'm at 30 millimeters, f4.5 at 1/30th of a second at 12,800 ISO, and I'm still at -1 here.
I love the definition of the trees.
Yes.
Here?
Yes.
Yeah.
C'est que ton église est un petit peu cachée à travers les branches, puis
Oui.
là, on voit la lumière qui va éclairer le plafond de plantes. Je sais
Ouais.
pas comment le décrire plus facilement, là.
Ici, en haut?
Ouais.
Yeah.
Ouais.
That's because of this red light here.
Yeah.
And the thing is technically it's being lit on the other side.
Yes.
What you're seeing is just the little bleeding edge of that light coming under the trunks of the under the branches of the trees. It just worked really well. This one. So wait a minute. The first one of these. Allez. So the first one I shot at 4.5, 12,800 ISO, 12,800 ISO. I only underexposed it by 0.3, 1/3 of a stop. It gave me 1/40th of a second. The one that you're looking at right now, I was at -2. It gave me 1/40th of a second at the same aperture and shutter speed. Sorry, the same aperture and ISO. So f4.5 at 12,800 ISO. Now, understand that all these photos were shot with a f4 lens, not a 2.8, not a 1.8, not a 1.9, not a 1.4, an f4 lens. That's it.
And so people, they would try to shoot at like a bigger aperture, you're saying? Like-
Absolutely. Because they think that because it's night photography, they need the largest aperture.
Okay.
But technically today you don't need that anymore because the sensors and the computers in the actual cameras, I'd say for the last 8 to 10 years, evolved so well in these last, and I would even say, you know what? Technically, by my experience, the sensors themselves stopped evolving between 2017 and 2019, because when you take into consideration that my A7 III manufactured in 2018 and the A7 Mark IV, which was manufactured in 2022, okay, only increased the dynamic range of the sensor by 0.3 stops of light. That's ridiculous. You're telling me that in 5 years, you couldn't have added 3 more stops or 4 more stops of light? It doesn't make sense. This particular photo here, I put it in black and white because the lighting itself was just so orange, I could not adjust the white balance on it.
Okay.
And this one here was shot at 1/100th of a second at 800 ISO because evidently the lantern was very bright and I was pretty close. I would say I was within 10 feet of the lantern. I shot it at 46 millimeters and I exposed it at -1.
It works well though in black and white.
doesn't it?
Yes.
Gives a mysterious feeling.
I find it brings out more of the textures in the wooden
Yes.
door and in the actual brick, not brick, sorry, but the stone under the lantern.
I like it.
It's very nice.
And you're not distracted by the actual colors. Here was a mannequin in a dress shop. And I shot through a glass. I didn't use, obviously you can see I have all the reflections in the glass from the street. So I didn't use a polarizer. And I simply shot this at 36 millimeters at f4.5, 1/80th of a second at 6,400 ISO, because there's so much light in this display. I didn't need a higher ISO. I just liked the way the light was hitting the sign. And techniquement, d'après moi, c'était une lumière d'aile, fait que it already had a daylight kind of color.
It's a very nice place for breakfast, though.
Is it? I haven't been there yet.
It's decadent. You wouldn't believe it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's pretty good. You should
Again,
try
this one was at 70 millimeters at 4.5 at 1/160th of a second at 4000 ISO. And I was at 0 here.
Very nice.
You should, if there's like snow falling again, it would be nice as well. You
Absolutely.
know, your other picture. With
This is the other photo I was telling you about. And I believe it might even, it's almost close to being the same car. This one over here was a Bolt.
Yeah.
But
the
this
other
one
was a Yaris.
Eh?
The other one was a Yaris. Kind of
That's
the
right.
same
The other
shape.
one's a Yaris. C'est ça, exactement. This one here, I shot it. Hang on. There it is. At 20 millimeters, so at the widest angle. I cropped in a little bit here to just to off-center it better. I was still at 4.5 at 800 ISO, and I shot this handheld, panning in the direction the car was going. I shot it a half a second.
Okay.
I still have not explained. So see the dotted lighting here behind the car?
Yeah.
What it actually was Christmas lights hanging off the kiosks across the street at the park where I shot the church and l'église avec l'arbre puis avec les kiosques. And I do not understand yet why the lights should be lines, not dots. So I don't know if it's because it fired the electronic shutter rather than the mechanical shutter.
Yeah.
Je peux pas expliquer encore pourquoi que c'est pointillé comme ça, puis c'est pas vraiment comme plutôt. And the lights were not flashing. I would understand if the lights decorating the kiosks clignotaient, mais je m'en rappelle pas. I gotta go back and see, but I don't remember them blinking. Actually, it's true. Next week, I'm going to be back there on Friday for les marchés de Noël. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to check it again. I'm going to see if that happens again, or if they were actually, but I don't think, I'm pretty sure they weren't blinking. Because normally I would expect this to be blinking. Yeah.
Is it possible if I take a look at the lights on top, our straight solid line?
Yeah.
Is it possible that these lights at the bottom had interference, example, like a reef or something like that? So because you're moving the position, the light gets hidden because there's a leaf in front of it or something?
Oh, it could be. Absolutely. Because actually that's a good one, Mark, because actually there were you know the les épinettes?
Okay.
When they make you said it, the reef, the wreaths, the circular wreaths, that pine tree, spruce tree type thing. Maybe that's what was in front of the lighting, and they could have been moving because there was a little bit of a wind. So that could have been that.
So this one, will you post like the like the settings
Data,
of the camera for
absolutely.
this one? Yeah,
For this one,
I'm gonna
absolutely.
try it. This is something I've been trying. I don't know. I tried at one point, it didn't work. To pan with the camera, I want to learn how to fix the vehicle and blur the background
But
like
don't
this.
forget, Melina, it took out of 8 shots, this was the best shot.
Okay.
The other shots, I was either too fast or too slow, or
Mhm.
at the very last second, when I clicked the shutter, I moved up or I moved down.
Okay.
So you need to literally follow for the first few cars to get that kind of the speed that they're moving.
Okay. Okay.
Another technique to practice is that when you shoot, right, and you put the camera to your eye.
Okay.
Now, sadly, all cameras were mainly made for right-handers, meaning the viewfinder, if you'll notice, the viewfinder is slightly offset to the left on this camera.
Okay.
So it's offset this way. So when I turn the camera towards me and I put it to my right eye, my left eye is exposed.
Right.
So when I look in the camera, I keep this eye open because this eye allows me to follow better what's happening.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
And your brain will be able to separate between the left and the right eye depending which one you're concentrating on. But you still see through both.
Okay.
It's really freaky. Okay? It's something that is doable for anybody. But once you get it, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic technique.
I need some practice.
As a matter of fact, I've been told that snipers, when they look through the scope with the right eye, the left eye is open to make sure nothing is coming into their field of vision.
Okay.
This was just we're talking about reflections and just looking for something interesting to shoot. You know, one of the podcasts I listened to is called Lens Work by a gentleman called Brooks Jensen. He's of Uncle Bob's generation of photographers, has been doing photography for like just over 60 years. And he says, one of the hardest jobs of a photographer is taking a mundane world, un monde banal, and finding interest in what we shoot, because a lamppost is a lamppost no matter who's looking at the lamppost. But how I look at the lamppost and find an interesting perspective or an interesting lighting condition, how do I make that lamppost
Beautiful.
you know? The
Interesting.
worst thing for me is when a student tells me, well, there's nothing to shoot. Well, what are you talking about? There's nothing to shoot. There's a doorway there. There's a doorknob here. There's a knocker there. There's a pignon, a railing cap here. You know what I mean? It's anything can be shot. And this is what I tell a lot of my students, is that whether you like it or not, in a world of 8 billion people, yes, I am sorry to say it, everything has been shot. But you know what hasn't been shot? How I see it has not been shot. In 12 years that I've been teaching for Gosselin, and you guys know me, if I don't do 4 excursions per month, I'll do 12 excursions per month. And I bring people back to the same places I visit. I go back to same places around Montreal, little Portugal. You know what I mean? I have never actually gone back to a place and not found something to shoot. And most likely, hold on, sorry guys. Just a sec. Yep, momentarily.
No, it happened to me a couple of times where I go out somewhere thinking I'll be taking a picture of this or this event, and I come back with better picture of totally something else.
Absolutely. Because time changes, light changes, our mood changes. You know, So this was just an example here of just taking a railing cap from a balcony and just trying to get something interesting out of it. And I got the textures on the brass
Mhm.
with the little bit of the blurred
Condensation.
reflections of the lighting.
Yeah, and the condensation of the water and everything on
And the exactly.
Definitely. And
Would have this
AJ,
picture been better if it was black or white?
AJ, you had an entire roundtable discussion about finding beauty in the mundane, right?
Yes,
You
exactly.
could refer people to
That's true.
that
Thank you.
episode.
Thank you, Melina. Absolutely.
You didn't
This
answer my
was-
question there, AJ. Would
Oh, sorry.
that picture been better black or white, black and white?
Sorry, Mark. I have to try it.
Reinterrupted.
I didn't think about trying it in black and white, but I don't know because I technically what kind of flashed was the color, that orangey gold type color of, because it wasn't copper, it wasn't gold, it wasn't, but yeah, I'll make a black and white out of it and I'll post it and you can tell me
Because
what you
then
think.
we'll see more the details of that globe of that thing
Yes,
than the color.
exactly.
Yeah, even the condensation would probably come out, like
Come out
Benny
more, yeah.
mentioned. Yeah, that cool.
See that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, my friends, was handheld. And exactly, that was shot at 1/50th of a second, handheld at -1 exposure, 4.5 and 12,800.
Okay.
I'm going to go a little bit faster here because I just realized it's close to 10 o'clock and I got to go pick up my son at his girlfriend's house. So this was just a Coke button. I just liked the way that it was set up. Again, so we're walking to the right, and out of the corner of my eye, just behind me, I saw this big, huge Coca-Cola button. I had to shoot it. Ça, Denis, toi, tu devrais savoir cette pâtisserie-là.
Pâtisserie Rolla, yes.
Ben oui.
It's in Longueuil also.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
c'est
pretty
dans
good,
Vieux-Longueuil.
C'est une belle place.
Oh non. Puis l'intérieur, attends, je pense que je l'ai. Je l'ai-tu mis? Ah, j'ai oublié de le mettre, mais j'avais aussi la fenêtre avec des chocolats dedans.
Wow.
This is the big church there on Chemin Chambly and Boulevard Saint-Charles. And I just liked the way the light was hitting all the geometric figures in this, in the facade of this church. Because I mean, normally I shoot it across the street. I shoot the whole church. Like the first photo. That's usually the first photo I shoot is this church, mais grand puis vertical. Then somebody had seen a puddle,
Oh, yeah.
and this is what I turned around with.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Oh.
nice.
that's a good
That
one.
one, AJ, really gets to me. That one's a good one.
Yeah.
That one, okay, so the church I shot it at, where is it? 4.5, 1/80th of a second at 3,200 ISO. So there was a lot of light on the church in this image here.
Mhm.
When I shot the sidewalk, somebody had asked me, or somebody tried to shoot the reflection, and after the maybe third or fourth shot, she couldn't get it. I backed up, I looked, I shot this at 1/20th of a second at 4.5 at 12,800 ISO. I underexposed it. Again, this is a reflection, so my reflections, I prefer underexposing it by one stop. So -1 ici, and this is what it gave me.
Mhm.
Well, excellent shot. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mm.
There, that's the church, exactly that church, and that's the first shot I always start off when I'm in Vieux-Longueuil. I always go after, because it's a beautiful church. I mean, it's almost a basilica, and it's just really nice.
Yeah.
And there we go, guys. That's
I
everything for the
believe
month of November.
if you go a little higher, what
Oh yeah, I added a
Milena
few.
said, that
Oh.
there's cars and a motorcycle.
Yeah, I added I think the few that were missed last time, plus maybe 2 or 3 more that I took recently.
Here, this
Yeah.
one.
I just added them back.
Okay.
Like now. It's like the latest post.
Oh, it's nice.
But I've seen this before.
Yeah, we did with I'm not sure if we covered it. I think we skipped over this one and
Okay.
then
We
possibly-
did that one because wasn't it that got you talking about motorcycles? But then you have 2 cars, one black and white,
Yeah,
one red one.
maybe it
Those
was the
ones I
cars we
didn't see.
didn't. This one,
Oh.
this one we didn't cover probably.
This one, the black and white, this, honestly, I think the black and white works really well for this car.
Yeah, it was a black car. Yeah, I thought
Because
about
here you see the shapes, you know, you see the details, whatever the color of the car was, it doesn't matter. Here you really see the car for what it is, a masterpiece of sculpting,
Yeah.
literally.
It's very nice.
Yes.
Chevy. I think it's a Chevy.
This is a beautiful shot too. I love the colors. The red is beautiful, the blue, the white, the detail, the sharpness. You outdid yourself on this one, Milena.
Thanks. It was
Now,
been
absolutely,
focusing.
this shot I would not have touched in black and white.
Yeah.
Because the
Oh.
yellows, the purples, technically there's too many colors in here that would fall under the same grays.
Yeah, I actually tried converting it into black and white, and it wasn't as good as the color one. And this is
Exactly.
yeah, the other ones were not. I used my DSLR, but this one is like a cell phone.
Okay. Yeah, but you know, I teach cell phone photography too. And you know, it's a valid photography.
Yeah.
It's how you use the tool. This I see again, this is for me, this is motion. I like this.
I tried here, yeah, I tried to incorporate some motion into this shot. There were people passing by, and there was like this little Christmas market behind it.
Absolutely.
It's nice.
Yes.
And the motion of the people doesn't deter from the window and the pastry chef inside.
Mhm. Yeah. It's,
Beautiful
Oh.
shot. This is a beautiful interior.
Yeah.
I
With
love it.
Audrey, is that Audrey Hepburn in the background on the left?
Yeah,
I think
that
so,
looks like
yes.
Audrey Hepburn. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah. Very
Definitely.
classic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I started with my Christmas photography, so I might be posting more after this.
Fantastic.
It's
I'm
very nice.
gonna have so much to post now in December because
Yeah.
I've got 4 photography outings. Bière et Camera Montréal, we're supposed to have also a photo walk this month, December. I spoke with because I missed the one in November. I was working. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to make the one in December. And we'll see if I can bring something interesting digital wise. Last time I brought a last time on November, no, not November, in October, I had a the October photo walk. I had a Hasselblad X2D.
Wow.
And
The new
yeah,
one?
no, the
The
old
new
one.
Okay.
Now I have the new one.
Which is
And
crazy.
I'm gonna see if, because normally, technically, Hasselblad loans them out to us to show off to the customers so the customers
Mhm.
can borrow them, try them for a day or whatever. I'm going to see if it's the same thing with the X2D Mark II, because I wasn't impressed with the X2D Mark I. I found it too slow. I found it too limited. And the
Mhm.
thing I really didn't like about Hasselblad is technically it only has one color profile, which is literally called Hasselblad Color Science.
Yeah.
And you need the Hasselblad Focus app to import your photos. Otherwise, Lightroom won't see them. Worse than that is I had to take the Focus app from Hasselblad, import the photos, convert them to digital negatives so I could work them in Lightroom.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And they're 180 megabytes.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, because you
ridiculous.
have there's about 100 megapixels sensor on that thing.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
You know,
For Hasselblad, when you want to process the picture, isn't it Capture One?
Capture One is the only one, I believe, third party that can that can treat directly the Hasselblad, but Adobe can't.
Okay.
They didn't share the raw file format to Adobe at 100%, apparently. Anyways, I mean, whatever the story is on that, I bet. I mean, you know, I had it. I passed it around the table to 5 or 6 people. They enjoyed it. They seem to enjoy it. But it's not a camera for street photography. It's not a camera for sports. It's not a camera. It's a studio camera. It's a portrait camera. It's a landscape camera. You know what I mean?
It's too big.
It's not meant. Yeah, it's very big. And the shutter's in the lens. It's not a focal plane shutter. It's a leaf shutter.
Okay.
So each lens has its own shutter. And let me tell you, I had 3 lenses with me. With the body, I think I had close to $30,000 worth of equipment with 4 pieces
that's the problem. Yeah, it's too expensive.
Say,
yeah.
Thank you, people. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your passion. I love doing this every month. As you can see, I'm applying myself more, so I'm going to be sharing more photos with the group. I would like sometime in the new year to maybe do some kind of a photo walk amongst our members, however many. Just pick a time, pick a place, and we go out for a couple hours and shoot together. And then maybe either during the photographers round table or another evening like tonight, photo review, or hell, even just do a special review night based on that photo walk. So I'm going to check and see what my days off are for January, and I'll work something, some kind of an event on the weekend.
All right.
No problem.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I wish you guys all a wonderful month. I am still doing, for if those who can make it, I am still doing the photographers roundtable on December 20th. And during the holidays, I will, whether I'm alone, I mean, it's the holidays. I understand those who can't make it. You got family, you got, but I will on the, is it the 30th, I think? I forget what was the last day of the month, the last Friday of the month. But being that I'm off that week and the week after, maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it in the first week of January because I got like 5 days. I think I go back on the 8th or the 10th. Anyways, we'll figure it out. Thanks again for your time.
Thank
Je
you,
souhaite
AJ.
un bon mois de décembre. And as I've been saying lately on my Instagram, shoot some freaking awesome photos.
All
Good
right.
night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye. Good
Good
night.
night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.